down close to the goal line, almost scoring on his second catch of the night.
You know, I feel like the coach is going to pull this Shaw defense together and made some adjustments here, and hopefully we'll come out the second drive and you'll see those adjustments take place.
Sandy Creek over and over, definitely known for what they do, and that's play good football. Coach Chip Walker has done a great job since he's been here at Sandy Creek High School, creating team after team after team that goes to the Georgia Dome. And if you're just now listening for the first time, if you make it to the Georgia Dome, that means you've made it all the way. And looking here at Sandy Creek, we're here in Tyrone, Georgia, just outside of Peachtree City, if anybody's wondering. Brian did not know where Tyrone was. He thought it was someone.
I was quickly corrected by a local, though.
Sandy Creek on the kick. It's a high end over end, going to be taken at the 5. And looking for a seam. He's got some coverage down on him, slides away from one, gets it up near the 15 before he is finally brought down. A big, decent run back, 10 yards up near the 16-yard line, and we'll see what this offense has in store for Sandy Creek, as they're going to look to bring a pretty strong defense, as they've only allowed, the most they've allowed this year is 14 points, and that was to Fayette County. So definitely a strong defense, as they're going to bring quite a few guys up to the line. Some that go both ways, some that do not. Big 72 Michael Henderman, 6'4", 315 pounds, anchors that nose position as they come out in a 4-3. Shotgun for Shaw, and he's going to do a play action roll to his left side, throws against his body, finds his receiver at the 25. Nice passing catch as he finds his receiver, Stephen Jeffrey. A nice pass from Chandler Whittlesey, and a first down, or close to a first down for Shaw.
Jeffrey's the leading receiver for this Shaw team. He's got 238 yards on the season, so look for him to get many more passes the rest of the night.
Whittlesey in the shotgun formation, got one man in the backfield with him as he spreads a few more guys out. As he sends Webb in motion, Webb off in the flats. Now Whittlesey going to keep it, and he makes one man miss across the 25 up across the 30, finally pulling down at the 32-yard line. As if you look down on the stats for Shaw, Shaw's done a good job of moving the ball. They've definitely got the yards they need, almost 1,000 yards passing on the year. And also Webb does a lot. Whittlesey does a lot with his legs as much as he does with his arms. So you're going to see a lot of mix of that tonight as they bring in a bunch formation. Whittlesey gets it out quick to Webb. And Webb going to pick up 4, now maybe 5. Close to, going to mark him back at the 36-yard line.
You know, as we look at their record, they definitely have put some points on the board this year. They just seem to have a trouble stopping on defense. So hopefully this will be a high-powered offensive game on both sides.
3rd down and 5. Webb going to the sideline, limping just a little bit. Not wimping, my bad out there. Whittlesey going to bring his man in motion. Let's go Miller. He's going to take his drop. Finds looking for a seam. Going to do a little jump pass out to the right flats. Gets it across the 40. Up to the 45. Mark him at the 47. He finds Desmond Gomilla for about 10 yards. But we got a flag down in the backfield.
I tell you, this offensive line is doing a good job of giving the quarterback time tonight. These Hogs up front, they're really holding that D-line back.
The flag is in the area of holding as we await official word, and that is the call. So the passing catch for 10 yards is actually going to be the reverse and take them back 10 yards. I'd like to welcome everyone. Welcome Brian Smith to the world. This is his first go at this on television. He's a seasoned pro back in college. We spent a little time of the dream world of having our own morning talk show. So this is as close as we're going to get right now. But maybe, just maybe, Chuck Dowdle's listening, and we're going to get our time.
I'm sure there's someone out there from the Clear Channel that's checking us out tonight on GHSA.TV.
Whittlesey going to give it off to his back, and he's got nowhere to go as he is bottled up at the line of scrimmage as he fights his way forward looking for a little bit more, but he's got nowhere to go as Corey Griffin comes in and makes a big stop for Sandy Creek, meets him at the line, slows him down, and he's going to get about a yard or two.
There.
Sorry about that, Brian.
I was just saying, a little slow getting up. I tell you, it's impressive. He kept the wheels turning, kept the feet going, and turned what seemed to be a pretty quick stop into a couple more yards. Still a loss.
3rd down and 10 here at Sandy Creek. The Jugs are going 3rd down and 20. Actually, as the Jugs are going, trying to create an atmosphere that's hard to play in. As Whittlesey in the shotgun, he's got receivers all over the place. Bringing Gamilla in motion, going to send him to the right side as he slides out to the right. Pocket taking him over there. He's got some time to throw, throws it off in the flats. Almost picked off as it was going to be an easy throw and catch, but good closing as Jawan Pulliam came in and knocked the ball down. He was definitely there for the pass and catch with a good read from the safety. That incompletion is going to push Shaw to punt the ball as the defense comes back and holds big as Damari Kitt back as the safety for Sandy Creek. If you're just joining us, we're here at Sandy Creek High School. Glad to have you here on Play On Sports and GHSA TV. Be the first punt of the night coming from Shaw. Little bit of pressure as he's able to get one up in the air. Kitt going to take it on about the 45. Going to backtrack a little bit, looking for a seam as he's got one to the 50. Makes a move at the 45, and now may another one at the 40. As he's looking for grass, he's got it to the 30. He makes another man miss. I tell you what, he makes it exciting on that return. He takes it back 30-something yards. But I tell you, all the yards he ran in total, look about 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I tell you, he started running backwards. That always makes you nervous. You always want to get that vertical yardage, but he made something of it and broke a nice little run down the field.
Nice return for Sandy Creek back into Shaw territory beyond the 30-yard line up near the 25. And that's where they'll take over. Cole Garvin stands under center. Sweeney behind him in the backfield. Wilson coming to the near side in motion. And he's going to give it off to Sweeney, who is met at the line. He's got nowhere to go as he is swallowed up by big Bernard Granville.
I tell you, this defensive line has done a decent job these first couple drives of really stopping that run on the inside.
Damari Kitt going to check back in for Sandy Creek. A few more guys coming off to the sideline, changing the personnel up a little bit. Big offensive line for Sandy Creek. Big Allen Knott, Ryan Warrior, Jamon Rowe at center, Isaac Saxon, and Brandon Hobbs at tackle from left to right. Going to give it off to the big back. He's going to take it across the 30 to the 20, and he picks up the first down after 15 yards. The big fullback, Antonio Williams, gets it across the line before he is stopped by the Shaw defensive backfield. But not before a big first down from Shaw. Take it inside the 20 again, down to the 10-yard line, and knocking on the door again.
I tell you, that was good blocking downfield by Chancellor Triplett also. He got a good block to get a few more yards down at the end of the run.
Lining up first down and goal from the 10-yard line. More of a flex-type set. And they're going to give it off to the end coming around. He's got the 5. He's got the 10. Give him the touchdown as he gets to squeeze that one in. Touched one time. Bounces off him. Gets the big touchdown for Sandy Creek as they rush that one across and get it from the end coming around. And that was a nice call from the coaches on a flex-type set. Able to take that in for a touchdown.
I tell you, it almost looked like the defensive back was surprised on that one when he found the running back around on his side and kind of bumped into him and not quite enough to bring him down. Maceo Brown, the junior running back, able to take that in for a score as the PAT is up and is good. It takes us to 14-0 in an early scoring barrage as it's only been 7 minutes and we are already 14-0 for Sandy Creek. Barrage, did you look that word up or did you just come up with that on your own?
Man, I'm a dictionary. I am what it's all about when it comes to words.
That's what I hear.
It was a nice drive for Sandy Creek. They take it 30 yards, 30-plus yards, and get that one in pretty quick as there's moving the ball. Defense going to be back on the field. Shaw in their first possession. Took it down and made some promising moves, but a holding penalty backed them up 10 yards and made it a long second down in which they did not recover from as they get their second chance here. It's Sandy Creek's homecoming night as we got to see the Sandy Creek band to start off the game and enjoyed what they had for us. Played Amazing Grace, and I would say that was probably the first time that I have ever heard Amazing Grace at a high school football game. Brian, why so silent?
Well, I was just thinking that was actually the Shaw band that started it off.
No, it was Sandy Creek.
It was?
Yes.
Oh, well,
we thought it was Shaw, but it turns out it was Sandy Creek because they're going to be having homecoming festivities.
I understand.
And we do get to see homecoming king and queen, and I know that excites you more than anything else.
It does. That's actually why I'm here.
That's what I'm talking about.
For that king and queen crown.
Going to be taken by Little. Little looking for a seam, and he finds a little bit of one before he is hit hard and dropped by the free safety. And we've called him already a few times tonight. Big Corey Griffin steps up, lays the wood before he gets there to the 30, up to the 29, where Shaw will take over first down and 10 as we await to see the flag. And I see the official signaling holding. And it is going to be holding against the return team. And what got him up near the 30 now going to take him back near the 20 at the 19-yard line. And with this type of defense, you don't want to give any kind of momentum or anything to Sandy Creek because they're going to create their own very quickly.
Yeah, I tell you, these penalties are going to hurt them. They can't get a hold of those. They're just backing up every drive, and that's just going to that gives you a bad momentum and a terrible way to start a drive.
That return, like we said, taking them back to the 19-yard line. Whitlesley going to stand in the shotgun formation. McKelvin in the backfield with him. Going to bring Webb in motion. Give it to Webb going off the right side, looking for room to run. He slides off from one, slides off from another one. He almost got loose, Brian, as he is able to bring him down. Nowhere else to go. Big Broderick Allen with the stop.
I tell you, if Allen didn't catch him, I think he would have been gone to the house. Jason.
I hear you. That's good. The run to first down up to the 30-yard line is Whitlesley back in the same formation as they've been all night long, out of the shotgun. Play action rolling to his right, little screen, and he gets it off to the 35. Mark him out there as he finds Joe Purter coming out of the backfield. Catching one in a small little flat route, almost like a little screen, as they let the defense go. And picks him up 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5.
You know, you'd like to at least see Shaw get down the field on this one.
Pass going to be called incomplete as he throws it out to Webb. Coach Walker running out is, to me, from our vantage point, that was definitely a backwards lateral.
Yeah, I think they missed that one. I think that was definitely behind them. Looked like about 2 yards back, and Sandy Creek could have easily scooped that up and run to the house with that one.
Whitlesley to Webb. As we've heard now on every third down, we've heard the bell as it tolls, calling out for their fans. As soon as you hear the bell, you start hearing the milk jugs.
That's right. Down here in Tyrone, they know how to shake a milk jug.
That's right. Third down and 5 to go for Shaw. Whitlesley going to take it and find his man across the middle at the 45-yard line as he slides his way up near the 50 to the 47. And that was a nice throw from Whitlesley as he finds Jeffrey right inside of that zone. It looks like Sandy Creek just played a zone there, hoping to get some pressure, and they didn't. Whitlesley stays tight in the pocket, throws it out for a first down.
I tell you, Shaw really needs to drive with 5 minutes left on the first quarter.
Gamilla going to get the pass on a little swing route. Gets about a yard.
Just for momentum. If they don't cross the 50 in the first quarter, that's got to be a bummer.
Yeah, it's hard to recover when you're trying to keep the ball. You got to keep your defense off the field as much as you want your offense to score. Your defense has to have a break. They can't be on the field at every third down and out. And you can see that in college football, it's high school, pros, whatever it is. Your defense needs a break. Whitlesley from the shotgun on second down and 9. He's under 5 minutes to play. He drops it back 3 as he throws one off to the flats, a long one. Is that pass?
I think he just overthrew that one a little bit. He had number 7. I think he would have had a good little out right there, but overthrew it a little bit and missed his receiver.
Whitlesley's doing a good job of throwing the ball. He's got a pretty pass. It was an effortless pass to get it out there, but he couldn't find his man. As Sandy Creek again, Juwan Pulliam, who knocked the pass down earlier, in pursuit.
Another big third down here.
Uh-oh. I think they're going to call a milk jug violation.
Maybe a milk jug on the field. I'm not sure.
Ball was in a poor spot. They move it up to where it should be, to the 48-yard line.
The milk jugs are chanting to the USA theme. Feel like Rocky should be out here.
That's right. He's going to take it off and give it off to his running back, McKelvin, who is met hard and right in the middle by the linebacker, defensive lineman Spencer Roberts, the big senior D lineman.
I tell you, he read that one perfectly. He was cutting out to the outside and saw him cut right back, and the linebacker cut right back and stopped him at the line.
Going to mark him about a yard or two loss back to the 46 and a half yard line. Sandy Creek going to bring a little bit of pressure here. They got two safety men back to receive the punt. Kit back again, stands on his 20. Shaw gets a good snap, a little bit of pressure as he's able to get an end over end. Is going to land on about the 20. Take a huge bounce for Shaw, and you can't ask for anything else as it drops inside the 5 to the 4. Beautiful punt.
Great hustle by, looks like number 1 there. Stop the ball on about the 2-yard line.
Carlton Little, who's also the return man, seems to be the gunner on the punt team as well, as he downs it inside the 5. And I tell you what, for your defense, that's a good thing of trying to pin them deep, pin your ears back a little bit, and try and get in that backfield and slow them down a little bit, and you can win the field position battle if you can stop them here on a 3 and out.
I tell you, there'd be a big stop here. Carver really needs to, or excuse me, Shaw needs to see a big stop right here.
Cole Garvin going to take it, play action, looking down the right sideline. He's got a man who's got some separation, a few hands here and there, people battling for the ball all the way down as Shaw comes up with a stop. Carlton Little goes down with him step for step, and he's able to come up and knock that ball away.
Glad to see the refs just letting him play there. That's just good football.
Send a few more guys out there. He definitely had him open, but a good job in coverage there to knock that one down, forcing a 2nd down and 10 inside your own 5-yard line. No matter how good your team is, it's always a scary spot to be anytime you're inside the 5, even inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, a little surprising to see them pass it on that 1st down. You think they want to run it and try to get themselves some cushion to have some room to work.
Sandy Creek going to spread it out a little quick out to Kit, who catches it about the 10, pushes a guy down on a stiff arm, gets it up to the 20-yard line. I tell you what, when you got a big junior like that, 6 foot, 200 and something pounds, who can push his way forward, he got about 10 more yards just by the push, and a big 1st down for Sandy Creek.
Yeah, just a little quick out pass that he made something of it, picked up about 15 yards after the catch, and did a nice job there.
Cole Garvin, a lot of time coming over to the sidelines, picking up a play. Runs it back to the huddle as they bring it in a little bit tighter this time. Sumter comes out to the near side, the lone wide receiver. One single back. And he's going to sweep it out to Sweeney, who's looking for room to run. He gets it up to the 20 where he's stopped. It's probably going to be about a yard, if anything, to the line of scrimmage.
DB was just standing on the outside, just waiting on him that time. That was a good read by him. I believe that was number 26 on the tackle.
2nd down and a long 10 for Sandy Creek as we've crossed under 3 minutes here in the first quarter. It's been a quick one. The ball hasn't really hit the ground a whole lot to stop it, as Sandy Creek has scored quick. Shaw hanging on to it a little bit, burning some clock up. As Kit comes in motion, he's going to look to his left, a quick one out to number 16 across the 30, hits him at the 40. He puts the ball on the ground, scooped up by Shaw, and he has got it up to the 30-yard line. A big recovery as Kyle Wilson puts the ball on the ground. Shaw picks it up. They take over 1st down and 10. Is just as good as a punt.
You know, that's a big play by the defense, and that's really what these boys need, just to get them some spirit back in the game and get some momentum. Got the ball on the 30 within plenty of distance to score. Still got plenty of time in this quarter, and they can make something happen now.
Moore steps up with a big scoop and run as he gets it back to the 30. Great field position for Shaw. They've had a tough time crossing the 50 tonight. Well, they've definitely got it into Sandy Creek territory now as they stand in the shotgun. Whittlesey with one guy in the backfield with him. A little play action. He's got a man going right across the middle. He's losing time. Now tucks it down. He runs looking for room across the 30, makes room at the 20, down to the 15-yard line where he is finally brought down by Ronnie Blackman. I tell you what, he had a man streaking right across the middle in a post-type pattern, wide open, but he didn't have enough time to find him, or if he just didn't see him, that was definitely 6.
He had one of those big D linemen come right in his face, and I tell you, that's one thing with this Shaw team is as many runners and the many yards they have by different players, you really never know where the ball's going to go.
Webb going in motion to the right side. Whittlesey going to take it. He's got some time, and he's going to try and tuck it back in, and he is not able to get loose that time. Sandy Creek, Zachary Lane, the DN, scoops him up as they tried to slide a running back out to block him, and he definitely cut loose on that one. He got loose and got a big stop.
Yeah, he cut back on the inside, and that's where Whittlesey was trying to hit the hole and just gobbled him up right there.
5-yard loss to be second down and 15.
Speaking of gobbling, it's about Thanksgiving time. I'm ready for some turkey and dressing.
Ding, ding. Whittlesey sending his folks in motion. Webb coming to the near side as Whittlesey's got a lot of pressure, dumps it across the middle. A smart move by Whittlesey to get rid of it. It is an incompletion, but it's also better than a sack. Stops the clock. You got 1 minute and a minute and 1 second. Uh-oh.
There's the dreaded dong.
There is the dong.
Third down.
And you know what that means? I think I've got a fever, and I think the only cure is more cowbell.
More cowbell and more milk jugs.
That's a plug to SNL, anyone.
Need 14 yards on this.
Whittlesey going to fake a quick out, dump it off in a screen, finding his back as he's got some room to run. He gets it across the 10, across the 5, up near the goal line. Deontay Morse, I tell you what, once he got that pass, he was gone off the right side. Picks up the 17 yards you talked about and picks up a big first down for Shaw inside the 5.
Yeah, he found some quick holes and got through them quick and really made something happen with that. I thought he actually had gotten in the goal line, but looks like his knee hit about on the 1.
Shaw has shown they can be explosive. They got a lot of speed, as we read the stats earlier. A lot of guys have a lot of rushing yards. And as Brian stated, it's unsure which one's going to get it, as Sandy Creek now called for a substitution infraction. And that'll move them up another half the distance to the goal.
Which will give him about a half of a shoe.
So it'll be first and goal from the shoe yard line. Just inside the 1.
You know, back in my day, this is where they would send me over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Dive into the end zone.
Quick and nimble.
I had about a 2-inch vertical.
Brian Smith, quick and nimble, baby. Whittlesey going to come up under center now. He's going to keep it, go off left side, looking for the goal line as he leans. They fight. And it looks like Sandy Creek has made a big stand. The big defensive line makes a stop at the other half-yard line.
You know, I'm always amazed how the officials can really see that. All you see is one big jumble, and you're not real sure where the ball ended up.
I tell you what, Play on Sports, we can definitely see it. Well, Tony, that's all we got. Excuse me, Brian.
I'm still Brian.
Let me explain that. I work with Tony most of the time, so this is still Brian. I'm Jared. As we go away for our first break of the afternoon, it's been a good one here at Sandy Creek, as Sandy Creek has jumped first. It's 14-0. Lots of running. Quick first quarter here on Play on Sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to try to dictate to you what you're going to do on both offense and defense.
Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early.
We are back here in the second quarter. Shaw on second down. Whittlesey going to take it off left side. No problem scooting in that time as Shaw able to get one in the end zone. And it's going to close that quick gap that Sandy Creek put on the board. First 2 scores of the night. Shaw finally gets theirs on a momentum shifter as Sandy Creek put the ball on the ground late in the first quarter. Shaw ever take advantage, take it up to the 30 and score on just a few plays later.
Oh, the kick is blocked.
The kick is blocked for right. Brian, they jump through there. Number 7 again. Corey Griffin, the senior D-back, has been all over the place all night long as he gets his paws on that one. Knocks it down, keeps it 14-6. But I tell you what, Shaw did a great job of mixing things up as they went pretty quick down the field as they got some little momentum. But then you look at momentum shifts again, and Sandy Creek breaks through and puts a block in place. Shifts the momentum again, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it does. And you always wonder how they're going to come back out after that. Is that going to be that nail in the coffin? 14-6 is a lot better than 14-0. Obviously, it's 6 more points. So
yes, it is.
That's better. But having that goose egg on the board always is a little bit of a downer. Having some points on the board, I think, will give you a little momentum to carry you on into this second quarter.
Kit back deep to receive for Sandy Creek. Also heading to the back to receive is Eric Sweeney, the running back for Sandy Creek. Eric Sweeney does a great job of carrying the football for these Sandy Creek Patriots, just a sophomore. And I tell you what, you've got to be something special when you got a team as deep as Sandy Creek. You're just a sophomore, and you're already on the starting lineup and the biggest rusher for Sandy Creek. As Sweeney awaits the kick. It's going to be a little pooch kick as they're going to let it roll. Kit going to take it at his 30, as he's just going to lay down on it. Smart trying to preserve the ball rather than give it back to Shaw there at their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like he thought about running it for a second, then he thought better of it and laid down on the ball.
So from their own 29-yard line, Sandy Creek going to take over. Sandy Creek so far has really had no issues moving the ball through the air as Kit has been the man. Shaw has stepped up and definitely kind of held Sweeney from any big runs and any big plays. All the big plays have come for Sandy Creek have been through the air to Kit. As Kit comes in motion, and going to sweep it back to his big fullback. And his fullback's not going to get away. Now he does get away. Good gracious. I tell you what, that's some good running as he cuts across the 30. It looked like he was down and drugged down, and he shoots out of it. Gets across the 30. The fullback for Sandy Creek is a second or third carry of the night, and he's a hard man to bring down. Williams, a senior, makes it a tough day for any defensive guy trying to stand in his way.
Yeah, I tell you, with that tackle, he hit him, and then he tried to just grab his feet, and, you know, they gotta wrap these up. Saw the other day on Sports Center, they were talking about the art of tackling and how we've kind of gone away from that. We're going more towards a hot rod type tackle, and you just can't beat good fundamentals.
Well, me and Brian are going to be putting on a display during halftime. It won't be on tape. It will not be streaming live, but we're going to tackle whoever we can tackle and show people how to do it.
Yeah, there's a gentleman right down here I see that looks like he'd like to be tackled. I think I'll make my way down there in a minute and see what he's made of.
A few yards on the carry. He's going to give him about 3 or 4. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. As we are waiting, the official is not willing to let anyone play right now. It's my ball, and you can't have it.
I think he's waiting on me to actually go tackle the gentleman down in the stands.
I think you may be correct. Okay, now we're ready. You can use the ball. Cole Garvin in the I formation. A quick drop gets it out to Kit at around the 40-yard line. Kit jumps over one man. Big block freed up at the 50 down to the 40-yard line. A punishing block coming from Zarek Willis. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for that block, Kit would have gone down a lot earlier.
Yeah, it looks like Shaw was playing a soft zone on that, and they just didn't get to the ball carrier quick enough.
I tell you what, it's kind of hard for you guys to hear, but on that block from Willis, all you heard was the big oohs and ahs in the crowd as he frees up about 5 or 6 more yards for Kit. Twins to the left side. Kit lines up to the inside. Give it out to Sweeney. Sweeney looking for room to run across the 40. Slides along. Gets his way up. That's Delvin Weems. Wyndham forces him out of bounds for Shaw. Not before he gets quite a pickup near the 30-yard line. If that's where they mark it, it's going to be a first down. As we're waiting official word from the White Cap. He's having a talk with the coaches down there. 10:54 and ticking away here at Sandy Creek High School. It is homecoming night, and Brian super excited. I was looking for somebody to bring here to work the game with me, and Brian, at first wasn't going to do it. And I was like, Brian, listen, it's homecoming.
Yeah,
Kings and Queens.
I was all over it when I heard it was Kings and Queens that were actually going to be here. I thought we were going to be playing in a castle, though. I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a castle.
Right. I know. The bouncy castle, though.
Yeah.
Again, we're waiting for the change to get set. The first quarter, I think, took about 7.5 seconds as it moved through rather quickly. And the second quarter so far in only 2 minutes has lasted longer than the whole first quarter.
No, the first quarter was full regulation time. It was
Sandy Creek heading up to the line real quick. Huddle quick. Out of the I formation. Twins to the right. One over to the left. Colvin going to take the snap. Little play action. He's throwing a quick one across to the slot man. He's at the 15. Hit down at the 10. Rolls his way forward. A big stop from Carton Little to keep that from getting inside the end zone. Zarek Willis, who laid the big block earlier to free up Kit, now comes across from the slot, makes a big catch in the middle. Takes it up for a big first down inside the 10 to the 8.
You know, that throw in the middle, that's always a dangerous throw, but they made it seem seamless.
As it was kind of a seam route.
It was. I didn't use seam one more time in that sentence.
Inside the 10
like
to the 8.
Got it.
Seems like it. It's going to be a false start called on the offense. Back them up 5. So it'll be first down and goal now from the 13-yard line. As they tried to send a few too many guys in motion. Cole Garvin coming over to the sideline to catch word from the coach. Figure out exactly what they're going to do here as he hustles back to the huddle. Tight end Joseph Alexander in, going to slide off to the right side. Kit and Wilson off to the right side as well. Full back in, along with Sweeney as the deep back in the I formation. Shaw bringing as many guys as they can as they're looking for the run. He's going to throw a deep one out to Kit towards the back of the end zone. Excuse me, that was not Kit. That was Wilson, but it is incomplete.
I tell you, the way Jamin Rowe, the center, hurries to that line every time, it makes me tired just watching.
That's because you're out of shape.
Well, that is very true.
We're under 10 minutes here in the first half. As Shaw's jumped quick, 14-6. Shaw striking at the first of the second quarter. As Wetlesley took it in for about 2 or 3 yards for the first score of the night for Shaw. As Colvin now looking out, Cole Garvin out of the I formation, Twins to the right. Quick play action, he gets hit, and he throws it, finds Ellis, goes across the goal line for a touchdown as we await official word. Zarek Willis on a nice catch, and you got to give it out to Garvin too, who stayed in there, getting hit as he threw it. Delivers a bullet, a strike.
Yeah, I tell you, that's the way to keep the eyes on the receivers. Wait till you find an opening. Don't worry about what's coming at you, and hitting the strike for the end zone.
As we've got the flag man carrying it down, Sandy Creek celebrates as they have filled up their side of the stands.
I tell you, I hope that's paint the flag man has, because if not, he's very cold.
The PAT is up, and the PAT is good, as you just saw, and it's going to make it 21-6. 9:51 left in the first half. As this so far has been only one turnover of the night has come from Sandy Creek, and that was what Shaw capitalized on just moments ago. as they're able to take it in and make a quick score of it as they take the ball back here. With just a few minutes, they'll be kicking it away, and Shaw definitely needing a little more ignition as they need to stay in this ball game because it's not over for them by any means. We're just in the first half. They've shown that they can move the ball and score. Wetlesley is a dangerous, dangerous quarterback as he can throw it and he can run it too.
Yeah, you hope they come out and firing on all cylinders. I tell you, one drive down the field right here, putting it in the end zone, and I think we've got a different ball game.
The band's going crazy over here to my left as they did a great job to begin the half. Mitchell McMillan, the senior kicker for Sandy Creek, trying to get his guys together as the officials had to discuss it earlier to see if the PAT was good or not. They come running out to let everybody know it was good. Carlton Little will be back deep for Shaw. There was a penalty called against Shaw, which is going to move the ball up. Let's see if they try and kick it through the end zone or if they try and kick it high here. As Mitchell McMillan is going to tee it up. Everybody in tight to the left side for Sandy Creek. See if they decide to boot it deep or try and do something sneaky and put it in here as Carlton Little now stands on his 1, maybe 2-yard line. Jeffrey back there with him as well. Along with Webb. Got 3 guys back to protect the goal line as we await the official to let McMillan kick it. McMillan's going to hang it up. He's going to kick a deep one. It might hit through the end zone and through the goal line, and it is good. If that's rugby, we've got a few more points.
McMillan's kick goes through the uprights.
That was one sport I never played, was rugby. Although I was invited at Georgia College to play rugby.
You know, we were both invited. If I remember correctly, they told you wouldn't have to worry because you could just stay on the outside and run the whole time.
Right.
And I said, well, I'll try that. And they said, oh, no, big boy. You'll be right in the middle.
And neither one of us went because I did envision someone as like Brian hitting me, and I wasn't interested in that.
Big hit there.
Gamilla going to take it and go around the side, and he is hit hard. And it looks like it's going to be a helmet-to-helmet call as the flag goes out. Tell you what, it's always scary to see anything like that when you see a helmet going down and people going head-to-head. It's a scary thing as they're trying to prevent that in high school football, college football, and everywhere from leading with that helmet.
Yeah, you know, I think that's safe. You know, you hear about all the concussions and everything, and there's a lot of controversy in the NFL and in the upper ranks, but I think that's the best way to do. You want to keep your players safe. You want to have fun. You want it to be a good, solid, strong football, but you want to keep these kids safe. So
the penalty is actually holding against Shaw, which will back them up 10. It'll be first down and 20 inside the 15-yard line, around the 12.
If there's a helmet-to-helmet penalty later, I'll use that same analogy.
Please do. Whittlesey now going to take the snap, bringing Webb in motion. Fake it to Webb. Now looking to get away as he had looked like maybe a busted play. Gets it up to the 15, which will be about 4 yards, but I wasn't sure if it was a busted play there or what. He looked like he wanted to get it to somebody, and nobody was there.
You know, I followed the wrong guy, and it kind of, from me, because I was looking at someone else, kind of looked like a bit of a draw. I'm not sure what that was.
It'll be second down and 15. He picks up a few yards. As Whittlesey mentioned earlier, very dangerous quarterback. He's shown he can throw it. They run a pretty tight set. They put receivers out every single time.
Got a lot of turf in front of him.
Shaquille Wiggins in coverage on the outside as he has locked up his receiver, forcing Whittlesey to try and pull it down and run. And no doubt you see him get swallowed up as he's got nowhere to go. Not sure if you can call it a sack as Chris Williams does a good job along with Spencer Roberts. Uh-oh, there's the bell. It's third down.
Here comes the milk jugs.
Milk jug time.
I'm glad they emptied the milk out first.
Well, some people didn't, and people were complaining about the milk everywhere.
You know, if I had some chocolate syrup, I'd pour it in some of these, and you would have some well-shooken chocolate milk out here.
All right, folks, we're glad you're joining us here tonight as we take a time out here on the field. We'll take a quick break as well and give a little bit of time to take a breather.
One match away.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect.
prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the GHSA network, go to ghsa.tv/SBP.
Quick breather and a chance to get a quick swig of drink. 8:20 left here in the first half. It's 3rd down and 15 for Shaw as Whittlesey stands in the shotgun. 3 receivers, 2 left as he brings Webb in motion. Will take it and roll to his right. He's got some pressure on him. Almost picked off as he is being pressured by Zachary Lane. Zachary Lane making him dump it off before he wanted to, just before Jalen Harvey just about got the pick for against Whittlesey. And that incompletion will be 4th down as he tried to slide out to the right, which they've done a lot tonight. They moved the pocket quite a bit. But Sandy Creek able to figure that one out, almost jump the route and get the pick. As Kit stands on his 50-yard line as he scoots in a little bit as they're waiting to punt this one away. It's a good snap. Good protection. As Shaw kicks it up, it's going to go straight up in the air. As we've got a short punt for about 35 yards up to the 40-yard line, but we got a flag down. And I have a feeling that's going to go against Shaw.
Yeah, I tell you really want to get the ball out some more. He was pinned back into his end zone, but 40 yards is not much to give this high-powered offense to work.
Yeah, you've got to push them back and give your defense a little bit of break. And instead of making them stay out on the field, you've got to move the ball, give them a little bit of time, as Shaw's defense has been on the field quite a bit. But the one positive, I guess, that you can look at is that Sandy Creek does score fairly quickly, which gives the defense for Sandy Creek less time. But it's definitely not shown that they've had any drawbacks whatsoever in their defense so far.
Yeah, and the defense doesn't really show signs of tiredness. They, as I've said, the front is really picking up the holes, and it just seems like they're just kind of picking them apart sometimes in the secondary.
Hold was called against Sandy Creek. Back them up 10. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 50 now. Sandy Creek going to change it up a little bit. Garvin stands under center. Fake it to Sweeney. Play action. Throws it out into the seam route. He's got a man to the 30. Down to the 20. Nobody's going to touch him. Kyle Wilson on a 50-yard reception and score. And it's another quick one. Your defense is right back on the field.
There you go. Your defense can go rest now, so that's a good thing if you're looking for positives.
I tell you what, that was a very quick score. And I don't know if Garvin saw that matchup or not, but he definitely found him. He keyed on him quick, and he was wide open as they have 50-yard pass and score, adding to the yardage tonight. Oh, well over 100-plus yards for Garvin as he has passed the ball extremely well tonight as we wait the PAT from McMillan. And I think he kicked it to Peachtree City.
Yeah, this secondary just seems mismatched. They're getting in the secondary and just kind of putting it where they want to and doing what they want with it.
Yeah, they've done a great job all year long of throwing the ball out there. And like we said, with Sweeney being a great running back, you can't just leave guys and move them all over the place. You've got to stay in there and account for him as well. If you don't, then Sweeney's going to run the ball extremely well. So you can't just key on the pass. You've got to get some balance out there. And so far, Sandy Creek's been able to expose the secondary and find the running room they need.
Well, it seemed like in the first quarter they were really keying on the run, and as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that they left one receiver not even covered because they were keying on the run so much. Seems like now they move more to keying on the pass, and they're going to have to find that balance in the middle to really stop this offense.
We got the techno rolling out here now. I know you can hear it as everybody's up and excited and dancing here with techno is tearing it up.
Yeah, it makes me want to break it down right here. Glad I'm wired down to this booth so I can keep my dance moves to myself.
That's true. I'm glad. McMillan going to put another foot into it, going to drop it back, be taken inside the end zone. Automatic touchback as Webb catches it. But as you know in high school football, inside the end zone, you cannot leave the end zone. It'll be an automatic touch back up to the 20. It'll be first
what do you
down
think
and
that
10.
rule's for?
I really don't know why you do that.
Yeah.
Because if you're really crazy enough to bring the ball out and get tackled at the 10, it can only work better for the defense. I'm not real sure why that kicking rule is in effect, but if it touches the end zone at all, it's an automatic touchback. Brian, we're 7 minutes.
When we played go ahead, sorry.
We're 7 minutes and 56 seconds from homecoming. Whittlesey going to take the snap, throw a quick one out to Webb, and Webb trying to get some room to run. He's not able to get anywhere as he is tackled quickly.
When my cousins and I would play football growing up, I had a rule kind of like that. It was whenever I touched the ball, I automatically scored.
Right.
No one was allowed to touch me or
and that's
tackle
why
me.
your stats were unbelievable.
Right. It was madness.
Right, it was Herschel Walker type stuff. Second down and 9. Shaw looking to move the ball as they're going to bring Webb in motion again. And now give it off to the back, trying to find some room to run. He's not got anywhere or anything as McKelvin carries it for maybe a yard. Yeah, give him a yard. It'll be third down and 8.
Pocket really seemed to collapse, and they zero right in on the runner there. And as you probably heard, about a 1 yard gain.
So far, it's been all passing that's done anything for Shaw as they've tried to go to the run here. It's definitely been stopped by the big defensive line for Sandy Creek as they put 4 men down on the line and about 3 linebackers. Decent coverage as he's being pressured. Gets it out to his back coming across. Jacoby Long not able to come up with the catch. Looks like it'll be fourth down now for the Raiders.
There again, this Shaw team is on their own 20. It'll be a difficult. They need to get a good leg into this one and really back this team up, as we saw last time how quickly this Sandy Creek team can score. So they really need to give some field position here.
Jokovic going to punt it away for Shaw. And it's going to be a low snap, but he's got time. Almost blocked. As he did get a hand on it. He tried to play out the whole I got hit punter rule, but the official saying he got a piece of the ball. So that's going to be a short punt. Is the pressure going to put it back in Shaw territory again with that quick defense. Defensive stand from Sandy Creek, and now Sandy Creek going to bring out that quick strike offense.
It'll be interesting to see what Shaw comes out with on defense this time, to see if they kind of mix in that balance. It seems like they got a lot of guys up in the box, have one guy back deep, so it looks like they seem to be, again, playing towards a run.
Shaw looking like they're in a 4-4-3 type set as they're backing off the receivers a little bit. They're manning up, putting a little pressure out there. A quick throw out to the 25-yard line. Wilson was the intended target. It's going to be incomplete. I'm kind of surprised to see the tight coverage they're throwing out on the receivers. Is they're getting their hands on the receivers, trying to slow their routes up a little bit. And when you've got somebody like Damari Kitt, Wilson, Willis, all these guys that are super potent receivers, you got to be careful that you're not letting them slide by you. That incompletion will be second down and 10 as Garvin's got Kitt out in the flats. Good pass out to Damari Kitt. As he is hard to bring down, he gets up to the 15. I tell you what, it's easy to see for us up here in the booth as that developed perfect. That pass from Garvin was definitely, he knew the route that Kitt was going to run, and he threw it well before the cut, but a beautiful read from Garvin.
I tell you, and Sweeney really picked up a good block down front, had a linebacker coming in, and Sweeney seemed to pick that up, and great block to give the passer enough time to let that play develop.
Waiting on official word to find out what this penalty is. Got a few words coming in as we've got Caleb Tarno, who says he wants to be with us one night on the radio. Did you get anything from Caleb?
I did not. I did get a request for a shout-out from David Wilkerson, which I guess if he's my brother-in-law, I should respect that, huh?
I guess you should. My wife right now is down at home. She sent me a message. She is now not listening to the game, and I'll have to get with her about that later. But she is now watching Marley and Me.
She'll be crying by the time you get home, I hear.
Never seen it, never want to.
You know, but if I were married to you, I'd cry every time you came in also.
Big unsportsmanlike call going
me?
against Sandy Creek. That's going to back them up about 1,000 yards as they're back near the 50 now. Be third down in about a mile and a half as Garvin has had 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He looks out, looking for Kit, going off in the flats, and almost makes a circus catch and not able to come down with it. It'll be third down and a long ways to go. Fourth down and a long ways to go for Sandy Creek.
Almost made something happen with a one-handed catch there. That showed some athleticism.
Isn't it crazy when you got something in your brain that you want to say and you just can't get it out?
It is.
Kind of like what you just did.
Right,
yes.
right.
6:08 left here in the first half. David Wilkerson, we just gave the shout out, has just come back with his own text back to Brian. It says he's famous, so he's definitely listened. So Brian's kids, Lydia, Anna Kate, I hope y'all are having a great night as well. The kick away from Sandy Creek as he puts a beautiful punt all the way back in the end zone, 60 yards on the punt. And I tell you what, for special teams, that's what you want from your kicker, McMillan, who's had a good leg on PATs and kickoffs. A beautiful punt all the way, 60 yards, beautiful spiral the whole way.
Looked like Levante Williams really wanted to bring that out, but again, it was in the end zone, and he cannot do that.
I just heard that somebody's out passing hot dogs in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'd like to go get some free hot dogs in the parking lot. I'm not sure who's passing those out. Hope they're not in the back of a creepy van.
A 4-3 defense from Sandy Creek. Spread them out for Shaw. Is Whittlesey going to get a quick pass out for about 5 yards, finding Stephen Jeffrey.
Tell you, it looked like the defense was reading the playbook on that one. They were all over that play and didn't get much on it.
Actually going to mark him for only a 3-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd down and 7. I'm not sure what the penalty is, but the penalty light's flashing on the big scoreboard. Whittlesey has a low snap, picks it up quick, finds his man in the flats. Beautiful pass from Whittlesey up to the 35-yard line as he finds Jacoby Long for 10 yards and a first down for Shaw.
Yeah, I tell you, I think they really need to stay with this pass. It seems like they're moving the ball better when they're throwing it around, then sneak in a few runs every now and then. Like we said, there's plenty of rushers on this team, but I think they need to keep the ball moving in the air.
Purder going to go off the field for a little while. Levante Williams going to check in for Shaw as their coaches call the plays in. They got all wristbands. They look at the wristband to see what's going on as Webb comes in motion. There'll be a little option play, and it's a good pitch from Whittlesey. Going to free him up 5 now, 8 yards on a nice option as he held the ball just long enough.
I tell you, he paid for that one, but it was worth it. Got a good pickup. Waited till the perfect timing to make that pitch.
Morris doing a good job of waiting back on his pitch man as he frees himself up for a 9-yard carry. It'll be 2nd down and 1 as they definitely will get the ball back at the half so they can get in the end zone here. It'll be a big pickup. If he's going down the seam, Levante Williams wide open, threw behind him just a little bit. But I tell you, that pass and catch for about 30 yards would have put him in a position to get the ball in here before the half.
Yeah, that ball was about a step behind him. He would have picked that up. He would have had another 5 to 10 yards and would have put him in nice striking position for a score.
Got to pick up the first down here. It's critical, 3rd down and 1. As Whittlesey looking to the sideline, stays in the shotgun formation. He's spread out evenly, 2 to his right, 2 to his left. Looks quickly now looking for a seam to run. He's going to slide across and just barely gets across. And a good read from Whittlesey just to keep it. That'll be a first down.
I tell you, I think that's where this Shaw team is best. Like I said, just running when they need to, running to mix it up, but keeping the ball in the air.
Williams made the stop there for Sandy Creek, and that would have been a lot more if he wouldn't have got a hand on the shoelace to bring him down, but not before Shaw able to pick up the first down. Whittlesey looks quick to his left, throws one in the flats. Beautiful pass across the 50 into Sandy Creek territory. You can't ask for much more as he just threw off his back foot, but still completes it to Long for about 8 yards. Now mark him 9.
Great pass and catch to set you on a second and short.
Camilla going in motion off to the left side. Whittlesey throwing one quick out to the flats. It's a dangerous pass. He threw into triple coverage and almost picked off. As Sandy Creek defends it well. Another third down. As you know what time it is on third down here at Sandy Creek. Out come the Shakers because of the gong.
I hadn't heard the car horn down from us lately, which is good because it scares me.
Yes. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the first half. Shaw with their second third down of the drive. A short third down and 1. Whittlesey looking for someone to throw to. Got a man in the flats in the zone. There's Long across the 30 up to the 25, and they figured out this zone's all. Shaw coaches letting Whittlesey know you got a guy that's able to slide inside of that zone, and it looks like maybe a cover 2 type zone. He's just getting inside of those linebackers and those defensive backs. That pass goes for 20 yards and a first down for Shaw.
Yeah, I tell you, they're really kind of working it nicely down the field, just one after another. Pass, run.
Clock still running at 3:20. As Whittlesey now getting away from pressure, going to dump it off to Webb. Webb gets to the 20, now down to the 15-yard line. He's able to find, that's not Webb. I thought it was a 6, but it's not a 6. It's Levante Williams, It's amazing that every first down that they've done so far, Shaw has been able to pick up 8 or 9 yards every time as they are close to another first down. Probably going to have to measure here as they await official. It's about 1.5 inches to go.
Yeah, Whittlesey did a nice job that time of getting away from some pressure, coming around to the outside, finding his open man, dumping it down to him, and a nice pickup down the sideline.
As you've seen in the schedule, Brian talked about it earlier, Shaw has not had an issue scoring at all this year, as they've gotten it into the end zone quite a bit, but tonight it's been a little bit harder against this stingy Sandy Creek defense as they cross over region play tonight. Lots of games going on across the state. A lot of big matchups. Eagles Landing in Henry County is playing Dutchtown, and that's a big region matchup for them. And it's a lot different in that region this year as Griffin goes down. Griffin High School fell to Stockbridge, which has never happened. Stockbridge, undefeated in the region so far, goes in and beats Dutchtown, goes across county lines to Griffin High School and beats Griffin. And Griffin in like 26 years has never lost to a Henry County team.
You know, that's something. Griffin's always had a strong program. Stockbridge not so much. Back in the 90s, it was their heyday, but good to see an underdog pull one out.
Stockbridge now on top of that region over there. They've got the one play up on Griffin as they're number 2 in the region. As Eagles Landing looking for their first win against Dutchtown tonight. Inside of the region, a lot of firepower. Rex Robertson, the new offensive coordinator, with Coach Technip, the varsity coach at Eagles Landing. Whittlesey on second down and short. He's going to have to get away. He gets a big freed up block. Now he's trying to get away, and he's going to get the first down. I tell you, Whittlesey, he can do it with his arm, but he is able to get away, and he just about got pulled down by Zachary Lane, which would have been a demoralizing sack, but instead he scrambles away and looks like he's able to pick up the first down.
I tell you, that was pretty impressive. He had 4 or 5 guys in his face. Looked like the line just fell apart. Whittlesey dropped back, found a little lane around the outside, broke around the outside, and almost picked up the first down on that first 9-yard run.
Ryan, calm down. The homecoming court is coming out.
I do see the red carpet.
Actually, they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds a little bit before the first down marker. Actually going to lose a little bit of yardage there, so it's going to be another third down for Shaw. And Whittlesey has shown that he's definitely composed as this defense has been in his face all night. As he's looking to get another third down as they've handled the ball this second half, and they've pretty much owned time of possession just from this drive alone. Sandy Creek's got 4 guys on the line, 3 linebackers back, 2 safeties and a cornerback. But it's going to make a fourth down attempt a little more simple as Whittlesey picking it up with his feet.
Yeah, as you were saying, they
have 1 timeout. Sandy Creek has all 3 of theirs. And it looks like Shaw has decided to take their timeout, so we'll take a quick one with them and leave it on the field.
player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start.
Back from the timeout. No more timeouts left for Shaw. And this is at the point now, 4th down and about 6. Is you need to get in here, get this first down, and get back quick to the line and maybe put your ball down on the ground. An intentional grounding to stop the clock. Is Whittlesey going to take it? And he's got some pressure on him. Throws it across the end zone. Beautiful pass as he was getting hit. As he finds his man in the end zone, Levante Williams with a great catch. Not just seconds ago, Levante Williams was one shooting down the seam. Had to turn around and try and make the catch. Wasn't able to do it. Comes up with a great catch for a score.
Whittlesey with great concentration. Stayed in the pocket till the last second. Took a big hit. Threw it just a step behind him. And the receiver with a phenomenal catch behind him. Falling to the ground as he made the touchdown.
We said it all night long. Whittlesey has been a great with the football. A quarterback that can do it all the way. As now they're going to go for 2 here as he's able to do it with his feet and do it with his legs. He throws a quick corner route out to Webb, and it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to be a pass interference called on Wiggins as he was in coverage for Sandy Creek.
Yeah, it looks like that was his only choice. I mean, if he wouldn't have knocked that down or interrupted that pass, and then that was definitely a 2-point conversion. You know, sometimes that may be even your best play. At least they have to take another shot at it with the penalty.
And it's going to be half the distance to the goal. So, again, a little mathematics to move them up closer to the goal line. So instead of the 2, they'll now be at the 1. As we await their PAT attempt as they bring their same personnel. Been in the same formation for most of the night. Is Whittlesey now going to look for Webb and dump it across the middle, and we're going to have another flag. And this one may be holding called against Sandy Creek as the ball was not really catchable or near anybody.
So the Sandy Creek Patriots really trying to stop this 2-point conversion. A score of 14-28 going into the half would give them just a 2-score lead.
And just as important for Shaw is they need to get the ball in here and put it only by 14 as they get the ball back as they come inside the half.
You know, Jason, impressively how Shaws have come back. They Sandy Creek put 20 on the board real fast and have just added 8.
Now Whittlesey going to throw it out looking for Webb, and this time Shaq Wiggins able to come up. Shaquille Wiggins says no interference on this one. PAT is no good, and it's going to make it 28-12. It's not a defensive victory for Sandy Creek to allow the touchdown, but it is a victory in the fact that they've made this more than a 2-possession, but a 3-possession ball game now.
Yeah, that ought to coming out from the second half. That I have no idea what I was about to say. So it was good, though, I promise.
It's okay. I knew what you're going to say.
I started reading the hold them on the scoreboard there, and that, again, the Jumbotron at a high school just blows my mind.
And that's all right. I tell you what, I know in high school there was no such thing as a Jumbotron. I think the Braves had it. The Falcons had one, but as when I was in high school, we didn't have internet either. So,
you know, I remember when they had internet. It was in the library at Henry County High School. It sat at one desk, and I was afraid to touch it.
I think it was going to explode. Now, the first time I used actually internet was email when we used to send random people emails at Gordon College.
Yeah, you know, Bob Dole actually invented the internet.
Was it Bob Dole?
Or not Bob Dole. What was that guy's name? Al Gore.
Al Gore was the inventor.
They're both 4-letter last names. So,
yes. But I remember our Georgia College days, and we didn't do it, and we don't condone it, but we used to go around the library and type in websites and leave it for people to be surprised. But you can't do that now because there's passwords. Back then, you just got on. Shaw going to do a little pooch kick, a little onside attempt, and I'm waiting to see the pile uncover, and they're able to come up with it. Sandy Creek.
You know, Shaw could have had that. They seemed to run right past the onside kick, and the Sandy Creek Patriot jumped on it, kind of slipped out, but because there were no defenders around, he was able to get right back on top of it.
Corey Lane recovered the kickoff for Sandy Creek. 13 seconds for Sandy Creek. Not sure if they're going to take a lot of shots downfield here, if they're going to take it to the half, but if I know their explosive offense, they're going to take at least 2 or 3 shots and try and put something in, maybe even a field goal. McMillan's got a big leg. And he's going to try one. He throws it out to the flats looking for his receiver, Chancellor Triplett. Be incomplete. 2nd down and 10. 8 seconds now left.
You know, McMillan's had a great season. He got 50 points on the season, leads the team obviously with points, but has had a fantastic season. If they can get him close enough to put 3 more to go into the locker room.
Just from his PATs and kickoffs, he's definitely got the leg to kick it from at least 35 to 40 yards, and that may be what they're trying to do. Is Garvin pumps it down and brings it back and throws it out to Bolds. Bolds did a good job of slipping inside the zone, and they've got 2 seconds left as they're going to take a timeout. And if they're going to send McMillan out for this one, it's going to be a very long attempt of close to 50-plus yards. But there's 2 seconds. You've got no other option. Let the kid try it.
Yeah, it won't hurt anything. You're up by several. That was too much quick math for me, but you got a good lead. Go ahead and let him try to put it through. See what he can do.
Close to 50 yards on the kick, because I'm not really wanting to really add that up for you. But you can see it on your internet television.
Looks like about a 54-yarder.
Okay, thank you. Brown was always strong in math, really strong in finance. Really strong.
Well, see, what I did is he's on the 44, and I added 10 for the end zone, and that made 54.
Well, that's still good adding. And the kick is away. It's got plenty of distance. It's going to go through the middle. Good gracious, 54 yards. Take the momentum to the half. McMillan add to his point total, 53 yards. On the 53 points on the year now, and he's going to beat everybody down to the locker room.
McMillan's going to be the first into the locker room. Looks like he's more excited and maybe more surprised than anybody else out here.
I tell you what, the kickers don't always get the glory. They're always getting the punishment whenever they miss something like that. But he kicks it for 54 yards, and it had a lot more room. Plenty good as they take it to the half, 31-12. We'll be back in just a moment. Before we go, though, we'll let you know of some of the scores out there. Alpharetta has jumped quick on North Forsyth, 28-7, and still ticking away in the second quarter. And there's a few more scores of substance out there. Grayson visiting Berkmar and winning 35-0 at the time. Armucci and Chattooga in a close match at 7-0. Blessed Trinity on top of Decatur, 21-0. Some other big ones out there. Camden County, the big region of the state, 6A, leading Tift County 34-0. Also Centennial and Lambert, another big region matchup. Centennial winning 20-7. Chastity over Walnut Grove, 17-0. Brunswick and Coffee in a battle down. Just their last update was the first quarter, 6-0. Central and Callaway at 7-7. That's another cross-region matchup. As we continue to look through, Norcross on top of Collins Hill, 21-16. And a big surprise right now coming from Fayette County, leading Columbus 17-0. As we battle and go around the state, Peachtree Ridge on top of Mountain View, 10-6. And Lovejoy on top of Morrow, 35-0 at the time. Mundy's Mill in a lockdown with Drew, 6-0. Lumpkin County, if you're out there, 27-13 has jumped really quick. Landmark Christian, 35-0 as they lead right now. Athens Academy on top of Pinecrest, 20-7 with Gainesville leading Salem, 28-0. A lot of big games out there. If you're looking for anything in Gwinnett County, it's 21-0. On to DeKalb County, Stevenson on top of Tucker, 7-0. Thomas County Central on Northside Columbus, 14-0. Just across the town, Noonan on top of Tri-Cities, 20-7. And a big one down on the state line there that Florida, Lowndes leading Valdosta. The last count is 3-0. We hope you'll tune in for more second half action as we'll be back here at Sandy Creek after homecoming.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
we're going to try to dictate to you what you're going to do on both offense and defense. We're going to come at you.
One shot.
Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early.
would like to recognize our Patriot sponsors at this time, Greystone Grading Incorporated of Fayetteville, the Moving Cafe here in downtown Tyrone, Mike Manley and Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Tony, it's been, or excuse me, I just talked to Tony on the phone. Brian, excuse me, one more time. It's been a big first half for Sandy Creek, coming out of the half, leading 31-12, all capped off by a 50-plus yard field goal from McMillan. You don't see that a whole lot in high school football, much less you see it in college and the pros.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting field goal, pretty exciting for him. As we said, he ran off the field very excited, and that momentum should run right into this half.
McMillan going to kick it off, and it looks like it's going to land on the end zone, and it does. And he has done that all night long. He's got plenty of legs. Kicking a 54-yard field goal, you know, a lot of times these kickers never get the glory that they deserve, but a lot of times, always, if they ever miss a field goal to cost a game, you'll hear about it for weeks. But it's a big first half for Sandy Creek, able to put 31 on the board in the first half, coming through the air and on the ground as well, balanced it up pretty well. Defense has been more than monstrous as they've held Shaw out of the end zone all but 2 times, and Shaw has shown that they can throw the ball and they can move the ball pretty well as they get a quick one off here and looking for some room to run. He's going to get it maybe a yard for a yard loss as he finds Stephen Jeffrey.
Yeah, again, Shaw moves the ball well. If they can just get in here, settle down, move the ball back down the field, and then when their defense on the field, defense stop this Sandy Creek and pull themselves back into this ball game.
Whitlesley's done a great job as a quarterback here for Shaw, as he's thrown for a touchdown and he's also ran for one, and has shown that he's got the arm to do it. He's got the legs to free himself up as he has to. Whitlesley going to bring Webb in motion, a little option out as he gets pummeled on the pitch, but it works as he's able to hang on and free his man up for quite a few yards. McKelvin did a great job of waiting back.
Again, a great timing on his pitch. I tell you, he always waits to that last second, takes that big hit, but gets the pitch off and picks up some more yards down the field.
McKelvin keeping the ball on the pitch, taking the ball on the pitch, takes it 10 yards or 11 yards actually, picks up the first down up to the 30. As Jeffrey goes in motion, sits inside of that zone, finds his man Jacoby Long. And in the previous drive up leading into the half, he's able to find Long quite a bit as he sits off the left side and side of the zone and picks up 8 yards.
And you know, I think Shaw's picked up their offense there, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to find that zone. They've got to find those pockets, sit the receivers right down inside those pockets, and just pick up a few yards at a time.
He's going to bring trips to the right side. Send Webb in motion. And he's going to keep it on this time instead of the pitch. He finds him a seam to run and gets it across the 45, now to the 50, into Sandy Creek territory, across the 40, forced out of bounds at the 35. And Whitlesley doing it with his arms again and with his legs.
Yeah, I tell you, on that one, it looked like they bid on the pitch. Whitlesley kind of faked a little pitch off to the right, and then tucked it under and for a nice little run up the middle and out to the left side.
Picks up the first down into Sandy Creek territory at the 36-yard line as 10:45 is ticking away here. He's going to find his man. He's going to lose some yardage on the play as he gets it out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey not going to have anywhere to go as he backs up to the 39-yard line. Going to be a loss of 3 yards. It'll be second down and 13. I want to offer a big shout-out to Brian's family again, who has been some faithful supporters of the program, as all night long we're catching words for possible ads, but I don't think we're going to use the ads. They didn't pay for airtime, so we can't give it to them.
Yeah, you know, Lydia and Anna Kay, they're quite the big GHSA TV fans.
2 to the right, 2 to the left. Whitlesley, with 10 minutes left in the third quarter, going to take his drop, looks left, going deep for his man down the sideline, and it looks like it's going to be caught for a touchdown. Wow. I tell you what, that was nothing but beautiful as Webb goes down and makes a beautiful catch in the end zone. Was all covered up, but he comes away with it. Levante Williams off the left side carries it down, a pass of 40 yards for a pass and score.
Yeah, I tell you, this Shaw offense, they drew the defense in by run. Then they dropped back and dropped a long one down the field for the beautiful catch for the touchdown.
All night long, Corey Griffin, defensive back, has done an unbelievable job as the PAT is up and is no good, but it does hit the lineman in the back.
If the lineman would have had a field goal on his helmet, that may have gone through.
I tell you what, it's hard to get that kicking up. Sometimes you got those guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. We have a lost young man in the press box with us. Stephen Street.
Great drive by Shaw that time. 18-31 to score with right at 10 minutes left.
Sorry about that. Shaw doing a good job of putting the ball in the end zone, but all night long having trouble with the PAT. As any time that you get down and score as an offense, you've got to have the special teams to come through and get that PAT, or whether it be a 2-point conversion or a 1-point conversion, that comes back to get you. And so far tonight, it's definitely kept them out of the ball game, and a lot of times that does kill your momentum a little bit when you score and you can't get the point back on top of it that you need to get.
You know, you've got to wonder, and not sure if it's just the line collapsing so quickly, but if it would be better off for them to just go for the 2-point every time.
Hunter Eaton going to kick it away, and it's going to be taken there at the 45, just hitting him in the chest and dropping down top of it. That's Gabriel Arnold. And it's going to be great field position again. I tell you what, all night long they've had no trouble getting it into the end zone. You can't keep giving them at the 45. And they've definitely made work of short field every time they've had it short field tonight.
Yeah, it seems like they continue to go for that onside kick and have yet to come up with it.
Garvin under center, bringing Kit to the near side in motion. Going to fake it to his back. He's got his man in the flats. That's Kit. Throws it behind him just a little bit. Can't come up with it. One hand grab, not going to happen. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Tell you what, Kit's been open quite a bit tonight. There's been 2 times he's been underthrown or overthrown or whatever, what have you. But when it's been near him, he's definitely coming up with a catch, and he makes a lot of people miss once he gets going.
Yeah, you know, he's caught several behind him. He's caught several up high and just done a great job making adjustments mid-route to make the play happen.
Kit and Willis come to the near side for Sandy Creek. He's going to take it and give it off to his back, looking for a little bit of room to run, and he's going to get swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go as Sweeney looked for a little bit of room, not able to find it.
Yeah, Perter was all over that one, didn't sniff that out from the get-go, and was in the backfield before they knew what was happening.
Marking for about a yard loss. It'll be 3rd down and 11, or even a long 10, as the clock continues to roll at 9:40 here in the 3rd quarter. The defense from Shaw looking to make a stop, come out with new energy. A 3-and-out here would be exactly what they need to get down and drive it again, give Whittlesey a chance to drive that offense down. Sandy Creek's been pretty good at moving the ball and picking up the first downs as Garvin's looking for room to run as he's trying to get away, and he's going to be brought down and sacked as he got his running room closed up quick with Chris Golden, the linebacker.
Yeah, that's a great way to come out this second half. You get the ball, you drive down, you score, your defense comes out, makes a big stop, 3 and out. Your offense is back on the field and ready to do something. This Shaw team has really come out this half and playing with some strong momentum.
You got to take it back. Levante Williams back to receive the punt for Shaw. Excuse me. Back to his 5 is where he stands. As McMillan looking to punt this one away, plenty of time, puts it up in the air. Big high one, going to take a Shaw bounce, though, back to the 24 as he brought that one back just a little bit as they'll take over 1st down and 10 on their own 24-yard line and see exactly what they plan to do as Shaw dialed it up last time and everything went their way with Whittlesey driving down with his feet, driving down with his arm. A big 40-yard pass for score on their last possession.
Yeah, I think the key is just keeping that distribution. Play selection, mixing it up, pass and run. And that's what seems to be working for Shaw tonight.
Whittlesey with 4 receivers as he takes the snaps, little option out. And they're going to spread him out this time, try and make him go, and he's not going to get away this time. Great coverage from Sandy Creek as there's a flag down. Probably going to be a hold But that's exactly what you need to do as a defense when you got an option coming at you. You spread it out, make them go as far down the line as they can, make them run out of room.
Yeah, they did a nice job. They really spread that all the way to the sideline. Shaw really had nowhere to go. All they could do was keep running out until they ran out of space and they were out of bounds.
Whittlesey doing a good job from the quarterback. A smart play just to keep it, not look to pitch once it spreads out. But the hold is going to back them up 10 yards. So if Sandy Creek decides to keep it or not, there was a loss of 5 yards. It looks like Sandy Creek is going to take the play. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Decline of the penalty. The Jugs are getting going early. It's not 3rd down. I hadn't heard the bell, but they're going anyway. Going to look quick to his right side, little pump fake. Everybody covered up pretty well. He's going to take off and run. He's got the sideline to the 25, forced out at the 30, and there's a flag down. It's going to be a call for a late hit.
Yeah, it looks like that Whitley was heading out of the sidelines, and late hit came up right as he was stepping out.
Solomon in on the stop for Sandy Creek. That's one of those calls that could go either way. You could call it. You could not call it. Both teams going to be mad either way, but it looks like it's going to go the way of Shaw as we wait for the official word from the referee.
Tell you, Whitley's done a nice job tonight of really just making things happen, developing a play when things seem to be shutting down, really kind of finding the holes, finding the things he needs to find to make something, to move the ball, keep moving the ball, and keep moving the chains.
The late hit penalty going against Sandy Creek, giving another 15 yards and a 1st down for Shaw across the 40 to the 43-yard line. As he's going to bring his man in motion, here comes Jeffrey. Crosses off in front of Whittlesey. Play action now rolling left, looking for room to run and nowhere to go as he's brought down on a sack.
Yeah, they really kind of saw what was coming there, penetrated that line of scrimmage, got into the backfield, and Whitley really had nowhere to go on that one.
Broderick Allen going to get the sack. Back him up about 3 yards to the 40. They'll bring up 2nd down and a long 13 as we are under 8 minutes. Tick it away here in the 3rd quarter. Trips to the right, one to the left. Levante Williams stands alone to the far side. Purder, Long, and Jeffrey to the near side in the trips formation. He's going to keep it in the option. Yes, he's going to have to pull it down and run, and then Sandy Creek doing another great job of closing that one up.
Yeah, big hit there again. They spread him out, kept it wide, and as they tried to cut back into the inside, they just gobbled him up.
Kari Lane on the stop for Sandy Creek. Coming to the sideline is the big D lineman, Michael Hinderman, defensive lineman. What is it, 6'5", 315?
Yeah, 6'4", 315, big defensive lineman. It's hard to do much with him in the middle there.
He's going to come over and take a breather here on the sideline. 3rd down and 12, 13 yards now for Shaw. Looks like they're going to play in a zone-type defense as they have 4 guys down on the line. They're going to drop everybody back in coverage. They're going to get it out to his man looking for his receiver. Finds him at the 35-yard line. Stephen Jeffrey gets inside of that zone and a 1st down for Shaw.
Again, another nice job finding the pocket in the zone, sitting down inside that, running that route, and just waiting for the ball.
First down, Raiders.
It's going to be a pass of 25 near 30 yards and a 1st down for Shaw as they're moving it down. 6:40 left here in the 3rd quarter as they're moving it again. They've come out with a different outlook and a different passion here as they're moving it down, and a score here will definitely make this a brand new ball game. And they're not going to run it this time as they give it off to Morse.
26. Morse on the carry.
Yeah, again, a little draw or handoff up the middle, keeping them guessing. It seems like this Shaw offense runs a lot on the outside, so nice to see them just take one up the middle.
5 yards, maybe 6. It'll be 2nd down and a long 4. Jeffrey on the near side, the wide receiver. Little play action. He's got himself across the middle looking for his receiver. Finds Joe Purder. Joe Purder going to take it inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. And they're finding the holes in this defense.
Yeah, Pullum kind of tripped him up right there at the end. He nice job on the safety to close in on that, but that was a great catch and run.
Needing to punch it in here. Ben Shaw, all Shaw here in the second half as they come out of the half ready to go here. Whittlesey going to take it now, looking for some room to run as he's going to dump it off across the middle. Going to be incomplete and knocked away at the last minute. Shaq Wiggins, one of the ones in there. Shaquille Wiggins, excuse me. One of the ones in there on the defense of the pass. Going to be incomplete. It'll be second down and goal.
Yeah, he threw it there in triple coverage. You know, you get down this tight with it inside the 10 and limited space. Your defense kind of bunches up around your receivers, and it just didn't give Whitley a lot to do there.
Whittlesey now going to bring the play back in, heads over to his coordinator, finding out what he needs to do. As he brings it back in, most folks down here on the Sandy Creek sideline standing on their feet, hoping for a stop. As he looks around, he's got two receivers left, two right, and he's looked quickly across the middle, now going to pull it down, looking for something to happen. Going to get swallowed up by the big man. Herndon bringing him down for the sack.
I tell you, with Henderman coming after him, I imagine he could feel the ground shaking with him running after him. He just brought him right down. I don't know that he even saw him coming.
The sack going to back him up a yard or half a yard. They're going to throw three receivers out to the right side, one to the left. Sending one in motion, spreads it out even. Whittlesey looking for somebody in the corner of the end zone, and going to be incomplete. Intended for Gomilla.
That was a great play on the ball. Just jump up and just try to knock it down. You know, nothing too fancy. Just knock it down, keep it out of the receiver's hands.
Jalen Horn in coverage on the far side. Knocks it loose. It's going to be incomplete as they're going to be fourth down as they take a timeout to try and figure out exactly what they're going to do here on fourth down.
You know, they've done a great job tonight on fourth down. They've had a couple big fourth down completions, and looks like they're going to go for another one. 4th and 8. That's a long completion, but you know, when you're this close, when you're struggling with your special teams, you've got to do something.
Well, it's been a hard time and a hard night for the special teams for Shaw, as they're going to go for it here. You're down 31-18. In any normal sense, you would definitely go for the field goal here, but they've shown that they've had some issues with that tonight, so they're going to go for it here and see what the coaches at Shaw dial up here as Whittlesey's going to bring it back out of the timeout. And it's been all Shaw, though. This second half has been them as they've taken the ball, forced a 3 and out on defense, and now taking it down inside the red zone again of Sandy Creek.
Yeah, the coaches really have done a nice job of making some adjustments during halftime. The players have come out charged up and ready to come out and play.
Well, this has been the most that Sandy Creek has given up all year as their fans are up on their feet here on fourth down. Whittlesey going to roll to his right, looking for room to throw. He's going to find a man and throws it behind him, intended for Joe Purter.
Yeah, Purter just kind of slipped down. Looks like he could have had that, but he slipped down as he was reaching back for the touchdown pass. Fell to the ground, and the football falls incomplete.
Big stop for Sandy Creek as they left any damage that could have been done there at the 8 or 9 yard line, where they'll take over first down and 10. So far, 18 points has been the most that Sandy Creek has given up all year long. And like we've said, Shaw's had a tough time stopping Sandy Creek throughout the night, but they've shown that they can score as Whittlesey is dangerous with the football, throwing or passing. It's now Garvin going to take over.
This is a big challenge for Shaw right here on the
give off to the big fullback, Antonio Williams.
Deep into their own territory, inside the 10. A big stop here would give them good field position to pick right back up where they stopped off.
Eric Sweeney coming in. The big fullback coming off to the sideline after his carry, Antonio Williams. He's second down and 8. For Sandy Creek as they spread it out a little bit different here. Sweeney in the backfield with Garvin. Triplet going in motion to the far side. Kitt going to get a quick one out on the wide receiver screen, and he's going to put the ball on the ground, and looks like Shaw is going to be able to come up with it as we wait for the pile to shake loose. Shaw saying they got it, but who wouldn't say that?
You know, the ball was going out of bounds. Looks like it went out of bounds before anybody got possession of it, and looks like it's still going to be Sandy Creek ball.
Sandy Creek going to keep it, but it's going to be on the half-yard line all the way back inside the 1. And you hadn't seen it. It's been something that's not common with Kitt to put the ball on the ground, but it was just a good, clean hit coming from Shaw. From that side, it was hard to see who did it. It looks like it might have been Webb who's in coverage on that side.
again, these defensive adjustments they've made are really, really standing out. They've done a real good job of holding the offense. 3rd and 18, standing in their own end zone.
Is that a Zen zone?
Zen zone, yes.
Garvin going to take the snap. He's going to throw it deep going down the left sideline. He's got a man. And incomplete as he had him there. Kyle Wilson off to the races as he had Carlton Little beat going down the left sideline, but he can't come up with it. In his hands, out of his hands, definitely would have been a first down. And now they're going to be punting. McMillan going to have to stand on about, inside of his end zone, almost at the back line, and see if he's able to get this one away. If you're Shaw, you got to come after it.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for Shaw to possibly knock down the punt, possibly even recover in their own end zone. If nothing else, worst case scenario, they've got great field position with an offense that's beginning to click on all cylinders.
You got to tell your guys, though, keep your hands off the punter. You don't want to give him anything here as he's standing inside his end zone, foot on the back line as he punts on 4th down and 18. And they're going to keep everybody back as they're going to have time to return it from his 15. There goes Long at the 40. Gets freed up to the 35, down to the 30 before he is finally pushed out of bounds. And, Levante Williams, I was wrong on the call. It's not Long, it's Williams, carrying it right back close to where they were a while ago. And they, again, the time of possession has been all Shaw here in the second half.
You know, it seems like they've reversed roles. Shaw's really taking charge this half. They're keeping the ball down on their side and just need the couple plays just to punch it in the end zone and to put some more points on the board. Pull back within striking distance.
Still here in the third quarter. It's going to be 1st down and 10 now for Shaw. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. 31-18 as they're down just a few. But if you saw the first part of the game, Sandy Creek jumped out unbelievably quick. Made it 14-0. Whittlesey getting the guys up to the line, and he's 1st down and 10 on his own 28-yard line. The Sandy Creek 28-yard line. As the officials give way and let this thing get started here, as they need to punch it in here and get a little bit closer game and make this thing more within reach as they've owned here in the second half. Whittlesey takes it back on a play action. Now going to reverse field. He's got some folks on him, and he's trying to get loose as he's throwing one towards the sideline. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Jacoby Long.
I tell you, he was just lucky to get rid of the ball on that time. He dropped back about 12 yards and finally just threw it away. If had several people back there with him, several defensive players, if they would have dropped him there, that would have hurt. Brought up a 2nd and 20 plus. So good to see him get around the outside and get rid of the ball.
2nd down and 10. 4 guys down on the defensive line, 3 linebackers as they adjust as Webb comes in motion. Option to the opposite side, and he is going to get hit and dropped after about 5 yards. Lane out on the stop. Corey Griffin on the stop for the Patriots. That option's been there pretty much most of the night for Whittlesey.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a big 3rd down here. Again, they're inside their own 30. And I really need to punch it in, need something here. 3 minutes left in this quarter. You want to put some more on the board before you head into the 4th.
Spreading them out. Bringing Gomilla in motion now, looking for someone to throw to here on 3rd down, and he is looking for somewhere to go as he's now going to reverse field and take it back. And finally brought down after about a yard carry. Micah Solomon. Going to make the stop on Whittlesey.
I tell you, watching Whittlesey runs almost like watching flag football or something. He's all over the place, back and forth on the field, cutting and weaving, trying to find a hole, trying to find a receiver, trying to make something happen. And so far it's working for him. He's dropped back several times, several steps back into on drops, 10 yards or so, and typically will at least make it to his own line of scrimmage, if not gain yardage.
If you're a wide receiver out there for Whittlesey, you've got to come back. You've got to stop your route, come back and find your quarterback and get open so he can dump it off to you. A lot of times they're still out in their routes, and he makes it happen when he finds his receivers out there. But we've got an injury out on the field, so we're going to take a quick break as he is tended to and give folks some time to get back, and we'll see you in just a second. Brandon able to come over to the sideline on his own 2 feet. Hopefully he can get tended to pretty quick and get back out there.
Looks like they were just stretching him out. Hopefully he was just cramping or something on the sideline. Get over here and get it stretched out and get back out there to play.
Going to hustle back to the line, 4th down and 3. Whittlesey all night long has been able to convert on 3rd and 4th downs on his feet or on his arm. Is he going to look quick across the middle? He's got a man inside the zone, and it's going to be a passing catch for a 1st down as he finds Stephen Jeffrey for about 10 yards and another 1st down for Shaw.
You know, these Sandy Creek defensive coaches need to look at what they're doing. This zone seems to not be working. They seem to be picking that apart, maybe going to a man or going to something else. But they just seem to be, again, finding the soft spots in this zone and working the ball down the field.
Trips to the left side, Perter, Webb, and Long. Jeffrey to the near side by himself. Got a little option from Wesley, and they're going to eat that one alive as he's going to have about a 2-yard loss as he had nowhere to go. The big D-line able to stop that one where it started.
Yeah, again, that pocket collapse, they seemed to be expecting that run, and just no holes opened up. Great job by the defensive line.
Allen and Williams in there wreaking havoc and stopping that one.
2nd down for the Raiders.
Michael Henderman going to check back in at D-line. Boyd in for Shaw at the running back position. Wesley now going to take it, throw it across the middle. Knocked down by Shaquille Wiggins. Doing a great job. And here comes a late flag. I'm not sure if they're going to say he had his hand on his back or not, but it looked like good defense to me as he's able to knock that one down.
Yeah, I don't know that was any kind of interference there. It seemed to be just good defense.
They've keyed on him a few times tonight and coming away with a few different calls, and that's pass interference for about the 2nd time as they're kind of keying on him. But like you said, it looked like good defense out there as they discuss it. And that's going to move them half the distance again, and they're going to be a 1st down.
I tell you, this Henderman, he's a fun to watch. He is just eating up the guards that are on him and have just pushed him back. And it really is impressive, again, for Shaw, the way he's in the backfield every play. Shaw just makes something happen.
Penalty going to take him up to the 6-yard line and a 1st down. Goal to go as the Raiders knocking on the door again. Sandy Creek able to hold them out last time. And we're going to have a penalty. It looks like it's probably going to be a legal procedure. Looks like the offensive line got a little early movement. And they're now retreating, so it will be against Shaw. So they'll back them up to about the 11-yard line. As we're just now under a minute left here in the 3rd quarter. And that'll be 1st down and goal from outside of the 10-yard line. Never where you want to be on 1st and goal.
I tell you, this quarter's really flown by with the moving the ball like they have, keeping the ball on the ground, and really done a good job of clock management, but they just need to put some points on the board.
Morse looking for room to run as he gets across the 5 up near the 3 or 4-yard line. What wasn't working for the Raiders running the ball earlier now seems to be working as Morse has carried it a few successful times, and the option has worked. They've bottled it up a few times, but Shaw has not left what they want to do, and they've continued to do it, and it started to work. But all night long, though, the pass has been there for them as they're going to keep it. Wesley now going to, looks like he puts it on the ground.
Ball is out.
And they're fighting for it, everybody clawing and sweeping away for it. And now it looks like it's going to stay with Shaw as they're giving the 3rd down signal. Drop them back to the 4. Now mark them at the 5. It'll be 3rd down and goal there from the 5.
Great job just hopping on top of that ball, covering it up. I would imagine a ball could probably change hands 100 times before an official gets down there to see whose ball it is. So good job of covering that ball up and holding on to it. Time
is ticking away here in the 3rd quarter, and it looks like Shaw may be content to let this one go as we're at 2 seconds, 1, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 31-18 as we're going to take a quick break in just a minute. But it's 31-18. Sandy Creek still on top, looking for another stop as we'll get back here in the 4th quarter in just a minute.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
we're going to try to dictate to you what you're going to do on both offense and defense. We're going to come at you.
One shot at this. Now it's time to put the hats on and go get some work done.
So they're all going to look to make a statement early.
Here in the fourth quarter, about to get underway here, Shaw on 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Bringing Webb in motion. Whittlesey now looking for him in the corner. Throws it across the middle. Finds his man for a touchdown as they're making it even closer. Levante Williams back on his backside makes a catch. 6 more, 31-24. And when this thing first started, everybody was thinking blowout, but they made this thing a ball game.
Yeah, this is really the tale of 2 games. Sandy Creek came out first half and really controlled the game. The second half, Shaw's really improved, really taking control of and doing what they want to do.
Shaw doing a great job of moving the football as they moved it, and they've owned the third quarter in time of possession. And they've had no trouble moving the football at all here in the second half, and they found the holes inside of the zone, and whatever they've needed to do, they've made some great adjustments in the half. And now they're going to pull out and go for 2, 31-24, down by 7. A 2-point conversion here would make it any more interesting than it already is as Webb slides out in motion. Going to sit in the back corner of the end zone, throw it back on a cross route. There he is. A 2-point conversion is good. Joe Perter sneaks out all alone, runs it to the right. Whittlesey throws it back left. 2-point conversion good. Brian, you can punch me later.
Thanks, Jared.
31-26. It's only by 5. A quick score as we start out the fourth quarter, as it's only taken 5 seconds to do it.
You know, Tyrone, what's been amazing, not since the first quarter when they first had their first score, put them at 7 up in the first few minutes of the game, Shaw has been trailing this whole game. Shaw's come back within 5 points now, and possibly the way they're playing could go ahead on this homecoming for Sandy Creek night.
Yeah, Sandy Creek has done nothing so far as we started out the second half. They've had some trouble getting going as they've been at 2 3-and-outs, and the rest of the time has been Shaw controlling the football. Basically, you'd almost say that for 8 minutes, Shaw has held the ball in the third quarter.
Yeah, Shaw's really kind of worked the ball down the field. Again, done what they wanted to do, came out with a 2-point conversion that pulled them within 5. And it's become an exciting, what looked to be a blowout has become one exciting game. You can probably hear it in my voice.
Yes. Eric Sweeney back to receive for Sandy Creek. And if you just missed it, and I mean, if you went away during halftime, you missed our silent halftime show.
Yeah, I was a little mistaken. I thought it was King of Queens. I thought Kevin James was going to be here from the sitcom King of Queens.
Oh, no, you did miss it. I'm sorry. It was the King and Queen ceremony for Sandy Creek High School. As the kick is away, a little pooch kick going to be taken by Kidd at the 30 and try and weasel his way up along the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Good spot for Kidd to be there. Looks like they split him up in kickoff return and possibility of that pooch kick. The Raiders doing a good job, as we said. They cut it to 5 games, and like we said, so far Sandy Creek has held all opposition to 14 points, and tonight Shaw in putting 26 on the board here on homecoming night for Sandy Creek.
I tell you, Sandy Creek really needs to come out and put together a good drive here and put some points on the board and get their team back in it.
Kitten Wilson receivers to the far side. As they're going to sweep it out to Sweeney. Sweeney finds a hole. Got 5 and 6, now 7, 8, maybe 9 yards all the way across the 45 to the 47. And a big run from Sweeney. has gotten this crowd up on their feet a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good way to start the drive, to show this defense, hey, we're here to play. We're not going to lay down. We're not going to let you beat us.
Give him 10 on the carry and going to be a first down for the Sandy Creek offense. As Garvin is bringing his guys up, going to stand on their center in the I formation. Sweeney, the deep back. Kit and Wilson to the near side. And they're going to sweep it to the weak side. Sweeney looking for room to run, and he's got nowhere to go as he is met in the backfield by Tashawn Davis, the linebacker, keying on that side. Went to the weak side, and it didn't work for
Yeah,
Sandy
that
Creek.
whole Shaw defense was standing there. I think there was one man who wasn't in on that tackle.
It's going to be a 4 or 5 yard loss back behind the 45 down to the 44-yard line, looking to preserve with the lead that they have. And I tell you what, that long field goal is even more important than it ever was now, is it would have been 28-26, but that 54-yarder in the half is giving them a little bit of cushion here for 5 points as they're trying to march it down and keep this game in their favor as they give it out to Sweeney. Sweeney looking for a hole. He's going to dive his way through a few guys up to the 50. Chris Golden, the linebacker, makes a stop for Shaw.
It's a 3rd and long, so they'll have a hard time to get that first down. But again, this is a drive that I would think they would really need that first down. They really need a score on this drive to change the momentum of this game.
Triplet, along with Wilson to the far side. Kit to the near side. He looks off on to Wilson. Wilson going to make the catch and slips down at the 45-yard line. He made a great move to try and get away from Carlton Little, but that slip, put his knee down, is going to stop him at the Shaw 45-yard line and see what they elect to do here. And I can tell you right now, it's maybe punt time. As Shaw has shown they're going to move the football, and they figure something out. You might want to pin them deep and make them go a long ways.
Yeah, I think without that slip, I think he easily would have had that first down. That was huge, but get out there, punt the ball deep. You're at a good spot to get them pinned back, and then have your defense come out and do their work.
Well, they're not going to do it. They may try a hard count here and see if they can pull Shaw off sides or just as much as go for it as he drops back a quick one looking for Kit. Finds Kit for the first down across the 40, and that's going to be enough for a Sandy Creek first down. We saw him hit Kit really early in the ball game. They've gone away from it, and they finally come back to it. But they've shown that, Kit's going to get his yards.
Yeah, and it's good to have that kind of confidence in your receiver that you can drop back whatever the situation is, and you can throw it to him. He's going to do what it needs to be done.
Twins to the left side. That's Kit and Wilson, the big tight end. Joseph Alexander lines off the left side. Give it extra block, and there's Sweeney. Sweeney's got 5. Sweeney busted loose to the 20. Down to the 10. Hear them yell. It's a touchdown for Sandy Creek. And it's opened up what they've been needing to do, and I tell you what, the fans are awake again.
Yeah, I tell you, that's what the fans needed to get back into this. That's what Sandy Creek needed to get back into this game. Again, this game is all momentum. That switches the momentum to Sandy Creek, and let's see how Shaw responds to that.
And that takes them up 37-26 as they're up by 11 points right now, which makes it an automatic 2-possession ball game as the kick is up. And McMillan, the money man, hits it off the goalpost, and he just about knocks the goalpost over.
That's his first extra point miss of the year. He was perfect up to this point. That was his first miss of the year. So,
well, that's going to leave it 37-26, which is what they needed to do. They scored with 9:03, and Shaw has shown that they're not making big plays to get their first downs and get it out of the end zone. It's been one pass tonight that was a 40-yard pass, was their longest play of the night. And they've used a lot of clock, but they've got to know with 9 minutes, you still got a lot of time. You got to get down in there and get in the end zone. There are no more second times that you get as they're running out of time here.
Yeah, I would think this would be a time to strike fast. Get your guys down there, get in the end zone, and then try to get the ball back and do something.
We'll see what they decide to do here. Sandy Creek, McMillan going to kick it off here. And definitely had no problem kicking it 60 yards and kicking that thing in the end zone. As Carlton Little stands on his 3-4 yard line. If you're listening out there still, check us out. Hit us at Brian Smith 10 on Twitter. Let us know how much you love us. And he's going to put a foot into it. It's going to kick it off the left side, and he's going to find Little there, who puts it down on the ground, picks it up quick, and gets it up to the 10, and going to return it for about 2 or 3 yards before he is utterly attacked by the Sandy Creek kickoff unit.
Did you just say Utters attacked him?
Yes.
Yes.
I did. The band is a little louder than it was to begin with. They've definitely kicked it up a little bit, and the crowd is back into it as their team has jumped up by 11 on a big 40-yard score from Sweeney. We're waiting. We're waiting on Twitter. We're waiting. I don't have Twitter, but Brian does, so send it to Brian. Brian Smith 10.
Yes.
Hit me up at Twitter. Whittlesey's going to bring his man Miller in motion. A little option, going to keep it now as he's going to try and squeeze about a yard or two into that one. And not going to be able to get a whole lot more. They're going to give him 3, though.
You know, here on GHSA TV, we're all about social media.
Yeah.
We love Twitter. Don Vaughn, that's another Twitter handle.
Wesley Sullivan in on the stop for Sandy Creek. 2 or 3 yards for Whittlesey. Add to his totals for the night. As he's got trips to the right, he's got 1 to the left. Sandy Creek looks like they're manning up on everybody now as 2 linebackers still sitting in the middle. As they bring Gamilla in motion. And now Whittlesey going to hit his man on the 20-yard line. Hit hard, but not before he makes the catch. That's Jacoby Long.
Lucky he held onto that ball. He was hit immediately as soon as he caught it. Way to tuck it in as he goes down and keep possession of it.
3rd down and 1.
And here comes the Dondon Bell.
There it is.
And when the Dondon Bell comes, we got the milk jug.
Milk jug.
I actually see an orange juice jug out there. Someone's a bit of a rebel. Not quite the conformist. I see a Mayfield yellow jug. They want to keep it fresh.
Good milk.
Yeah, it really is.
That's good milk.
You know, I did a tour of the Mayfield factory.
I've never done that.
And there's 2 lines, one for Mayfield milk and one for store brand milk. And they say that the store brand is not homogenized the same way. I don't believe it. I think it's all the same milk.
Well, I think you can only really homogenize one way, and I could be wrong if Mr. Mayfield's listening.
Yes.
I'm willing to try your milk for a year.
Yes, I apologize if you were upset by that.
I'm willing to be a volunteer. I'll take your milk for a year and try it out, free of charge. And I wish you could have been here at the half, folks. I tell you what, we didn't take the camera down with us, but Brian, he demonstrated some great tackles.
Yeah, you know, they don't call me Tackling Tony for nothing.
Yes. Got some scores coming up as we come back from the timeout. Shaw already using up 2 so far in the half. They've got 1 left to go. Is their 3rd down and 1. We'll give you some scores in just a minute. That's where, well, I guess I could have given them to you as I'm waiting for them to get started. Johns Creek and West Forsyth. West Forsyth leading that one 30-16, and McEachern has jumped on South Cobb 21-14, and just in a matter of moments, going into the half, it was 7-0 Greater Atlanta over Westminster, now leading 20-0. Wesleyan has woke up against Hateville Christian, a brand new school. Hateville Christian now down to Wesleyan 27-6.
Big 3rd and 1 here.
3rd and 1, Gamilla going in motion. Whittlesey now going to keep it and roll to his right. Find a man sitting inside the zone, and that's going to be enough for the 1st down. I tell you what, Joe Purder is making a big catch. I tell you what, if you like Woodbridge, you'll be excited to know that they're winning 62-0 on top of Towers right now. In the same region, Carrollton 44-0 on top of Troop. Rockdale getting beat by Luella 20-13. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left here. As they're driving, Whittlesey gets the ball on the ground, pick it up, now looking for something to do with it, and he's going to keep it and do it with his feet as he slides past a man at the 30, now to the 45, close to a 1st down at the 40, and he definitely made that one happen with his feet.
Again, the ball was snapped low, hit the ground. Whittlesey picked it up, made something happen. He's always looking for something, always looking for a hole, always looking to make something out of nothing.
Marist on top of Lithonia 33-14, and Calhoun on top of Pepperell 35-7. There's a few scores for you out there that as we are going live here tonight. We'll try and keep you updated as they come across. 7 minutes and 10 seconds. 2nd down and 1 on Wesley carrying it for 9 yards. The announcers here looking for that 12th man in the stands. as Shaw is putting up the yards tonight. Gamilla going in motion to the far side. Going away from us, a hard count called out, and Shaw catching that eager defensive line, pulled them off sides.
Yeah, it was a good hard count. About 5 or 6 guys, it seemed like, jumped off.
As we wait for the official to let us know exactly what his call is. Do believe it's going to be an offsides call, and it is. And that'll be 5 yards and a first down as they'll take it up to the 44-yard line. The Raiders in their own field territory right now, just a few yards away from taking it across the 50 and owning again time of possession. But one thing that they don't have a lot of is time. We're down to 7 minutes, and they've shown that they can keep the ball a long time, but in this case you've got to get the ball down, but you've got to get it back. Another low snap on first down. Going to get it off to his back. Deontay Morris.
Got a flag down in the backfield. Not sure what that was.
Looks like it might be a hold. It's in the area of a hold, and they're not really going too far yet. Able to pick up 12 yards on the carry.
It looks like they're coming back with it, though.
Tell you what, that's demoralizing.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than breaking off a good run like that for it not to count.
Yeah, Morris did a good job of.
I hate when I have a good run.
Yeah.
3 or 4 miles down the road.
Yeah. You are a runner.
Someone calls me and tells me that run didn't count.
I like to call Brian the 5K man.
Yep.
5Ks all the time.
Yeah, I ride all of them. I have a contest. If I can write 5Ks before I get to the end of my driveway, I'm done with my run.
Yeah, you've done a good job. It's really paid off. And that's a big hold as it happened in the backfield. So that hold takes them back to the 30-yard line. And it's going to be first down and about 24 yards. Whittlesey has shown that he can move the football, though. I know he's not tore up much about it as he's been a calm, cool, and collected quarterback throughout the night. He's going to fake it off to his back, now try and keep it. He's got a few yards, sliding his way up near the 40-yard line before he's brought down by the Sandy Creek D lineman Spencer Roberts. And it's going to bring up a long second down still. But you're in fourth down territory now, only not because of where you are, but because of the time.
Yeah, with just 6 minutes left, you've got to do something. You're down by 11. You need the ball twice to win this thing, and so you've got to keep on driving.
Trips to the right. Need to pick up a little bit here just so they can try and do it again. You don't have to get it all at one time here. Wesley back in the pocket, throwing one deep, going down the sideline. He's got Little going down there, but he is going to be out of running room, and definitely the coaches on the other side, the fans want that pass interference, but it was well overthrown and not catchable.
Yeah, even so, you know, the defense took a gamble there, trying to kind of taking a shot at the receiver. Could have easily, if it had been a little closer, been a pass interference, and that would have been deadly down there.
Corey Griffin in coverage for Sandy Creek. Uh-oh.
Here comes the dawn.
Here comes the dawn.
It just struck midnight.
Brian just lost his slippers.
My jugs are shaking. Milk jugs.
37-26. Sandy Creek trying to hang on to it here. Third down and 15 for Shaw. Jeffrey coming in motion. Now going to fake it. He's got some pressure on him. A little screen. Gets it out and nowhere to go. As he swallowed up Devontae Morris. Nowhere to go. Loss of yardage. And that's exactly what Sandy Creek needed.
Yeah, I tell you, I questioned that call at 3rd and 16 and had a little dump pass when you had some guys downfield. But then again, the pocket was collapsing. Not much to do, but 4th and 18 now, and this is do or die. There's a little over 5 minutes left, and this offense really has to do something here.
Yeah, running out of time for sure. Chris Williams going to check in now for Sandy Creek. Henderman going to come off to the sideline. Probably going to switch out for speed here, try and get some rush on the passer. We've got four down linemen, and everybody else going to drop back in coverage as we await for the call, and it's going to be a timeout. Probably going to give them 30 seconds here to try and figure out what they want to do. Is Sandy Creek, this could be it. If they can stop it here, it could be zilch.
Yeah, this could be the game here. If Sandy Creek can't complete this 4th and long, But you know, I tell you, I'm sorry, Shaw, but I tell you, Shaw has really done it all night. They've done well on fourth down. They've made something happen when it seemed like there wasn't much. Down by 11, but if they don't complete something here, then that could seal it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tony. But you can't keep West. I'm so sorry.
Tony just stepped out of the booth. Brian's back.
You know what? How long I've been doing? I've been doing calling games for like 10 years, and for about 8 or 9 or 7 or 8 of those years, Tony has always been the guy that's been with me in the booth. So, please,
God rest his soul.
Oh Lordy. Shaquille Wiggins going to line up across Carlton Little on the near side. More than likely going to back off in coverage right now. They're giving about a 2 or 3 yard cushion. They're going to keep everybody back as Wesley now rolling to his right side. Got some pressure on him. There's going to be a hold, but he is going to be sacked as he had everybody on top of him. The big linebacker, Lane, leading the way. Going to be awarded the sack, and it looks like it's probably going to be a hold. Will be declined, and it's going to be Sandy Creek ball on the 30.
Yeah, that was a big loss there. It was on Sandy Creek. I'm sorry, it was on Shaw. Big loss, turnover. Give Sandy Creek the ball inside their 30. Shaw's 30, and the ability to drive down. One more score will put this out of hand.
Yeah, one more, and that's going to be the proverbial nail in the coffin. You love that word, proverbial.
I do like proverbials.
Yes.
I like nails in coffins, too.
Yes.
If the person should be in the coffin.
It's not like that time when I put you in there, right?
Yeah, that was scary. It's amazing how close that lid is to your nose.
Right, it's just a haunted house prank, though.
Yeah.
It was nothing serious.
One of the Mayfield judges is leaving right now. I guess he's going to get a refill.
Twins to the right, probably going to keep it down on the ground here. The big fullback lining up behind the line. Sweeney going to get the toss. Going to take it up about 4 or 5 now, give him 6 or 7 yards across the 20, up to the 17-yard line. Big first down carry for Sweeney.
Sweeney's had a good night. He's run well.
Yes, he has. 2nd down and 3 for Sandy Creek. Just need to keep the clock running. As he stands under center out of the I formation, another sweep out to Sweeney. Going to try and take it left. Finds a hole and cuts inside at the 10. 5, puts a hand down and tries to get his way across the end zone. Give him the nice, beautiful carry. Hand on the ground. Takes it inside. There's the car horn. And let's see if that thing's hooked up to some hydraulics or something.
Yeah, I just saw it bouncing out of the parking lot.
I tell you what, that
Neon's up under it.
Big run.
That was a great run, too. Kind of kept his balance. He was losing his balance from about the last 5 yards in. Hung on, kept his balance, made it across the goal line.
Well, I tell you, Brian, that's about all that's going to happen here. You're going to see fans start to file out and probably head towards their cars. There's a big crowd out there. Definitely going to be a traffic jam as we leave here tonight. And you can't say it's ever over because things can happen in 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Just ask the University of Georgia. And in their game against South Carolina, I think they played Sandy Creek last week.
You know, I just see 4 people leaving. You said people are filing out, but they looks like they're holding on till the end.
Uh-oh. I feel good. A lot of bass coming out of the speakers here.
I knew you would.
Getting a little bit chilly up here in the booth. We're actually not in the booth, though. We're on the booth.
We're on the roof.
Raise the roof. 4 minutes, 33 seconds to go. Sandy Creek putting another one in the end zone, 44-26. Sweeney doing a good job carrying the football tonight as he's gotten it in the end zone a couple of times tonight, along with Garvin, who has done a good job of quarterbacking, the junior, who has had a good night. Kitts had a good night. Wilson's had a good night. And Triplett also, along with Willis, freeing up some runners out there and doing some great job in blocking defenders to free up his runners. And another on the defensive side, Sandy Creek's done a good job, but you can't leave folks out like Wes Leslie, who has done an unbelievable job at the quarterback spot, finding his receivers, sitting inside the zone. As it's not over, as you get to see a little bit more from him. As the kick is away, Webb going to take it at his 5, looking for some room to run, finds a seam at the 20. Oh, ball is on the ground, and we'll wait to see who gets it. And it's going to stay with Shaw as they just couldn't get a handle. It looked like Sammy Brown was going to be able to hang on to it, almost bopped right into his hands, but he's not able to come away with it. Shaw will keep it, but there's a flag down, more than likely another hold or a block in the back against Shaw.
Yeah, he got a friendly bounce there, bounced right out of bounds, and lucky on that one.
You know, it's only friendly depending on who you look at.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's really...
Well, since I said he, that would be Shaw, so he got the friendly bounce.
Right. So who's she then?
She is Sandy Creek, I guess, in that situation. She did not get a friendly bounce.
Right, yes. It'll be first down for Shaw after the penalty backs him up a little bit. 4 minutes and 23 seconds. It's going to have to be a quick score. It can't be a long, methodical drive like most of their drives have been. As they've been able to put 26 on the board, as now they drop them back another 10 from the hold.
I've not got to use the phrase laundry on the field yet. I look forward to using that before the night's over.
Well, you got a chance. I think there'll probably be another flag or two, the referees told me.
Officials have done a nice job on this game tonight, letting it flow. It's been a fast game.
Oh, yeah, done a great job. No calls that would be considered quote-unquote controversial. Two guys now in motion for Shaw. One going to get still. And there's the flag.
There's some laundry on the field there.
Yeah.
Big hit by
Wesley, going to keep it. Carry it for about 12, 13 yards with the illegal shift. Going to be called against Shaw. Sullivan makes an unbelievable hit on Witlessly.
Looks like it's going to back him up again.
The motion penalty will back him up 5. Because there was some laundry on the field.
Yes, there was laundry on the field.
Laundry. Sandy Creek getting another quarterback warmed up. Looks like he'll probably finish out the game. Trey Walker, sophomore quarterback, getting some snaps down on the sideline. If they're able to keep him out of the end zone, get the ball back, you'll see a lot of second-teamers in there getting some playing time for themselves. First down and 15. Whittlesey now going to drop it, throw it off to the flats, and going to be incomplete. Intended for Desmond Gomilla. It'll be second down and 15.
Tell you, it really looks like the wind's been taken out of this Shaw team. They did a great job coming out in the second half. Hats off to them for coming out, playing hard, pulling this back in with a ball in a one score. I think 5 points, and just kind of fell apart right there at the end.
Definitely a team to look for, possibly making it to the state. As once they get through their region, both teams have a very tough region. A lot of teams out of Columbus, a lot of teams out of LaGrange. The give going to go off left side. Morris going to take up maybe 6-7 yards across the 20 up near the 21. Both playing in a pretty tough region and going to have to get through that. So far, Sandy Creek undefeated in the region. Shaw has already lost inside of the region, but definitely not going to keep them out as time continues on.
A couple guys on the field dancing. Apparently they started a dance contest.
Yeah.
Between plays.
Big D tackle Henderman going to check in for Sandy Creek. A little bit of pressure on Whittlesey as he is going to throw one out. Finds a receiver throwing off his back foot to the 30-yard line. Throws it 20 yards off his back foot and completes it for a first down.
Yeah, that Joe Purdy, I don't have the statistics, but he is a tall kid. Seems like he can just go down the field. He rises above everybody else. And Whittlesey seems to find him often.
I tell you what, you can see the strength of a quarterback when they throw it that hard off their back foot. Finding his receiver, threw it with accuracy. He's now got trips to the right. He's got one to his left. He's under 3.5. Rolling to his right against the flow. Trying to get away. Going to get sacked and brought down on the play. He had nowhere to go. Big Broderick Allen put a hand up on the shirt and brought him down. Didn't let him go.
Yeah, great job. It just seems like we're at a point where they're trying to put points on the board, trying to look downfield, and just don't have enough time. Again, this defensive line have been in the backfield all night, and now that they're trying to get the ball down the field, they just don't have enough time to find a receiver downfield.
9-yard loss, make it second down and 19. As the time is ticking away here, Sandy Creek is feeling it now. As they're going to be able to walk away with this one with a win, another win inside the region, actually a crossover game. Gamilla going in motion. Whittlesey now looking for someone to throw to. Gets it across the middle. Going to be picked off. He's taking around the left side. Nothing but grass between him and the end zone. pick six for Corey Lane, the linebacker who's been all over the place all night long with a 20-yard pass catch and score for Sandy Creek. The defense comes through, and it's going to make it 50-26. But I tell you the score, if you were just joining us and you saw the score, you would think, man, this has just been a blowout. But it really hasn't. A lot of this has just come at the end.
Yeah, you know, it just seems like Shaw's trying to make something happen, and it's just not there. They really battled back, brought this within a good game, but right here at the end, trying to make something happen, and they just seem not to be working.
PAT is up, and the PAT is good. It'll make it 51-26. 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. And Tony, or Brian, here, punch me real quick. Hey, what is your name?
I'm Brian. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good.
Good. That's great. What's your name? Oh, Lord. 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and it's gotten ugly here at Sandy Creek High School. Homecoming's going to be the homecoming it needed, as they're definitely going to walk away with this one a winner tonight, 51-26.
Looks like the fans are starting to file out now.
No, only 2 or 3. Actually, we've got another football game going on behind the stands, and I don't know what the score is down there.
I don't either.
Got the baseball facilities back behind us. If you've never been to Sandy Creek, got a great facility here. Football jumbotron in the end zone, the home end zone. You look back behind your back, you got the softball as well as the baseball field. All teams here at Sandy Creek always doing a pretty good job in all sports.
Wasn't Jumbotron a transformer at one time?
Yes. Yeah, it was one of the
Optimus Prime's
yes, well, he invented it.
Yeah.
After the game, if we were kept recording it, you would see Optimus Prime. He comes out of the scoreboard. But we're going to cut it off before then, so you won't see it.
It scared the children.
Yes. McMillan going to kick it off. End over end going to be taken at the 5 by Webb. Going to bring it across field, looking for room to run at the 20. Cuts through there. Webb got some room to run up to the 27-yard line.
Just over 2 minutes left, and you always want to see Shaw come out and make something happen, just to go out on a bright note.
Brian up here makes some noise. Brian bringing the heat tonight. Shaw going to take over just across the 25. Going to take it and give it to Webb on the option coming across. Give him 5 yards up near the 30-yard line.
Jontez Webb